Today I'm going to show you how to get Dark Ops Challenge Sticks and Stones in Black Ops 6 Zombies. So for this challenge you're going to want to reach round 25 solo using only melee weapons, combat axes, and a melee macchiato perk. Now you can do this in co-op, but I find it a little bit more difficult because more manglers are going to spawn as well as mega abominations and stuff. So with that being said, we are going to get into the loadout for this. So we're going to go into our loadout. It doesn't really matter what weapon we're going to use because obviously we're going to just be using our melee weapon. I chose the knife for this. I have seen people using the baseball bat because I think the actual damage speed is a little faster, but it does less damage mitigation at the early rounds, which really sucks. And then if you do have it unlocked, I would recommend equipping the combat axe. That is going to be your savior for this challenge. I do not have it though, so I'm just going to run the Semtex and a decoy. And then the field upgrade you're going to want to run is Aether Shroud. Now for the Aether Shroud augments, actually, I'm going to recommend the Void Sheath here. I'm going to show in a second. And then the second one, which is just an extra charge. The Void Sheath is really useful because every kill you get, it actually adds to your duration of your Aether Shroud. And then obviously the extra charge is you get another one over time, which is nice to have it stacked. So let's get into this gameplay and I'll show you guys my round by round tutorial. Okay, so here we are on round 1 in Liberty Falls, spawning on the rooftop here, so we're just going to hop right down here. Luckily this is not a void damage, because I would have lost like last video. So these little side zombies down here, I would try to just avoid them. They're not going to stop your rounds from advancing. Just spawning some extra zombies here as well as going to the vending machine, see what I can get over here. And then we're just going to start getting some kills with our knives here. Make sure we're avoiding a lot of like environmental damage, because if zombies do die by car explosions or you know, stuff like that, anything that isn't a knife, you actually will fail the challenge. Now here you can see I am actually crouching when I am doing my melee attack, and the reasoning behind that is because you are going to want to get melee kills. That's the main thing you're going to want to look for here, is that zombie melee kill, the special zombie melee kill, the elite zombie melee kill. Now, I'm not sure if it is required exactly. I'm assuming it was just a bug, but it was happening where critical kills did not actually count towards it. But I'm going to show you how to get these vermins, because if we're going to try to avoid our critical kills with these, it can be a little tricky. So we have the vermins right here. And what you're going to want to do here is actually try to aim for their legs. So I like to just swipe to the side a little bit right before I melee attack here. Vermins can, you know, mess you up pretty good, so just try to keep your distance. And because I think like 2 or 3 of them, they can just like spam attack you and you're going to be down. It's going to be really frustrating, so just take as many safety precautions as you can. Throw a decoy if you need to, and you should be able to handle these rounds no problem. Alright, so here we are on round 7. You can stay in here for as long as you'd like. I'd like to suggest round 7 because it's kind of annoying having to deal with these 2 hits, so we're just going to hit that up for some salvage real quick, and then we're going to head on over to these doors. It doesn't matter which way you go. You can go towards the bowling alley or the alleyway, but I chose this way, so we're just going to head over here, and our main goal is to try to get over to Pack-a-Punch. So I'm gonna buy that. Go prone this machine here. Yeah, and another thing I'd like to point out too is making sure your field upgrade isn't something that's going to kill those zombies right there, get some extra points. And a aspect to this challenge I did misinterpret is you can use as many, you know, perks as you'd like. Just try to avoid elemental pop. I'd say that's the one that you don't want to have. But everything else is fair game. So I'm going to buy this real quick. This is just gonna boost our damage here. I did forget to. You can use whatever augments you'd like on melee macchiato. I just suggest to make sure they're good. I suggest like the one that heals you a little bit when you do perform a correct like melee attack. But we're just gonna hit up these for some salvage. Something I'd like to stress too is just making sure you're going in here each round and hitting these crystals, because I don't know what it is, if it's a round thing, but I feel like the later in the rounds that you do this, the more salvage you actually get from them. But we're going to pack a bunch of knife here, manlies, and then you don't really have anything to do until about round 10, so we're just going to keep trying to stay alive, make sure we're crouching during these kills, and I'll see you guys in a second. Alrighty, we are on the last zombie here. We're going to kill him, and we will advance to round 10. So what we're going to do, we wanted to wait till round 10 because if you do this Easter egg, like I said in the last tutorial, there's a floating head on the top of this church. So you're just going to want to grab a explosive here and just aim up towards these clouds. I like to shoot in the middle right there. It's usually a pretty good spot, but it's hard to miss. And that'll just blow up and then start doing the raining zombie Easter egg. It's going to drop you some points, some salvage, and the main reason we're doing this is for a blue ether tool. That is going to save us 1,500 salvage, which is really useful in the long run. So just going to keep surviving here, and it usually drops at the end, so we're just going to wait a little bit. Get some more zombies. And we do have that blue ether tool right here, so that's going to help us do even more damage. For the most part, it's just going to help with the manglers and the bigger bosses. We want to one-shot them as soon as we can, and that is obviously done through damage progression. So the first mangler round in solo is always going to be on round 11. So should be getting there pretty soon here after we clear this wave out. Alright, let's grab it, I guess. And then this guy too, I think it's a bug. Try to avoid killing that groundskeeper. For some reason, it's not going to count towards a melee kill, and you will end up failing the challenge, as well as alternate ammo types I'm showing you there. You know, that it has a chance of killing zombies, and we want to avoid that at all costs, because I would hate for you guys to, you know, advance to around like 23, 24, and at a AAT kill, and it just ruins your like whole hour of gameplay. And here I'm going to show you how to kill your mangler. This is the first one on round 11. So starters, you're never going to want to attack him when he's doing his little hand cannon attack. And you're just going to want to wait. I wait for him to melee over there, and then I always swing to his left side, because that's the side his arm cannon is not on. If you hit his arm cannon or his head, it will not count towards this challenge. So we're going to head back into the church here, Pack-a-Punch our weapon one more time, and this should be the last time you need to Pack-a-Punch it. Pack 2, we have a purple rarity. This will kill the zombies like with one shot, no problem. But it is easier to deal with the abominations and stuff later in the round, so we just did it. And then with our points right now, we're going to head in here and grab some Jug and Speed Coal, I believe. We did find combat axes. You should find them definitely early rounds of this challenge, so we're just going to grab some Jug here to mainly deal with those vermins. And then we're going to get Speed Coal here eventually, I believe. Because that will actually help with our plating, which is always a good thing. There we go. Okay, and we have all the perks that we really need for this challenge. You can grab Quick Revive if you'd like, just to regenerate your health a little easier. But if you have the Augment I was talking about on, then, you know, that shouldn't be an issue. You know, as you can see, I'm just getting all the health back that I'm tanking. So that's your discretion there. Alright, we're back on round 15. This is going to be the very first time the abomination's going to spawn here. So I like to suggest having a couple zombies just in case he does kill them off accidentally, because he can with his laser attack. But you just want to keep those alive, and then avoid his mouth at all costs, because that'll count as a crit kill. So I like to wait for him and then just spam him a little bit here. This is where the baseball bat comes kind of useful, but like I said, I just don't want to deal with the damage drop off at the early rounds. So I just keep, you know, going to his left and right side, swiping behind him. If you wanted to, you could use your Ether Shroud, but I just suggest always keeping those until you absolutely have to use them in like dire situations. So I'm just going to keep swiping at him a little bit. He should be going down here pretty soon. Alright, and that is the first one down. You should have, I think, 2 or 3 this whole challenge, but as long as you do what I say, kill to the last zombie, and then you should be able to deal with him and just keep all your damage mitigation towards him. But now that we do have all of our perks that we need for this challenge, our knife is Purple Rarity, Pack-a-Punch 2. We finally found some combat axes. We're going to open this door here. Like I said, it doesn't matter if the bowling alley is open. I just didn't open it. And this is going to be the whole strategy. So I like to sit in here, this is how we're going to use the combat axes that we do grab too. It's really useful for this challenge. You know, it'd make it a lot longer if I was just using the knife, but luckily I found some, and I'm sure you guys will too. But you just want to group them up basically, and then you can just spam them for the most part with the combat axes. It goes through like 3 or 4 of them, which is awesome. And you can just do combinations of that with swiping, and you'll fly through these rounds really quick. Alright, so we are getting close to this challenge. I wanted to just point out that you can actually buy armor plates too. I know a lot of people overthink this challenge a little bit. There is armor complications, but you can just, you know, still advance in the game like you normally do. Choose to buy a 3 plate if you wanted to. You shouldn't need it. 2 plate should be just fine though. But yeah, I do want to take a second to thank everybody who watched my video on the social distancing challenge and pointed out some tips here. So use some of those. Like I forgot to, you know, tell you guys what the challenge was actually about in the video. So I apologize for that, but I hope this one is going better. This one's one of the easier ones. I thought it was going to be difficult actually because, you know, but no, it's not too bad. It's literally just, those combat axes just help a lot. So we're just going to keep advancing these rounds, and then I'll show you guys the very final round where I get the calling card. Alright, I am going to run you guys through one more vermin round here on the higher rounds. A lot more spawn, so it can be a little bit hectic, so I'm just going to show you exactly what and how I do it to make sure that you do not down and lose all your perks in progress. So I like to group them up here, especially with the combat axe that I have, and you can just like throw it at them. It seems like it does not do critical kills to the combat axe, which is nice, because I was trying to hit their legs and missing every now and then. So it's a combination of this, some side swipes to the legs. Not too bad. I mean, as long as you don't get attacked by like a whole group of them, you're fine. Because of the augment we got, like I said, but I'm always on. Keep meleeing, combination of the combat axes. And this is our last vermin round, so you should only run into about, I want to say 3 or 4 of them, depending on your game. My first one is at, I think, 5, and then 12. Must have had one at like 17, so maybe 4. Should get to the end of it here. Got a couple more left. Alright, and that is a vermin round on 23. Alright, and then here we are on round 24. Like I said, I'm going to run you guys through just what a whole round looks like for this challenge. Prioritize my combat axes, not stressed out enough. Like I said, I'm getting those crouch kills and then healing these manglers. There's probably 2 of them that are going to spawn, but they shouldn't be too difficult. I know, I think in this clip that I'm showing right now, I do get stuck here in a little bit. Just kind of show you guys how to handle that with just using a knife, but it should not be too bad, like I said. So right here is where I got stuck. I was in that corner, so I just popped my ether shot, and then as he was walking away, I just chose to attack him here, get that guy taken out, and picking up my combat axes. Just keep swiping, getting towards the end of the round, I think. And as you can see too, I like playing this with that bus a little bit. I group them up, and then I kind of just funnel them, because you know, the point of entry over there on either side of it is kind of small, so you're not going to get a hole for it just blasting through it. They're going to body block for you a little bit. That looks like the last one. Alright, we made it to round 25. Haven't killed any zombies with anything else, except our combat axe and our knife. Alright, and there we have it, the Sticks and Stones calling card. And that is going to be it for today's tutorial on how to get the Sticks and Stones calling card in Black Ops 6 Zombies. If you guys did find this useful, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel as well as like the video. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.